In this tutorial, I'll show you how simple it is to enter, sort, print, and archive time data with Construction Calc's OnTime Excel-based time card. For clearest viewing, I suggest full screen mode in Windows Media Player, which can be selected in the Media Player's lower right corner. To get started, open Excel and then open OnTime. Your screen should look something like this. For help and instruction, mouse over any red triangle. There is additional printable help via the Help tab at the bottom of the screen. Input your company name and information here. You can leave this area blank if you wish. It will autofill later when we sort our data. This section contains helpful time-related calculators. Here is an hours and minutes to decimal hours converter. This piece shows the number of hours an employee has worked on any given day. And this calculator is a time clock. More on it later. We can hide and unhide this section with this button. Let's enter some time data. Starting in the first blank row, row 16, let's say I just finished a billable task. Job number is T08033. Hit tab. The job description is bridge, 45 foot. Client is Janicki Logging. Today's date. A quick way to enter today's date is Control:. Employee is me. And for the time spent, let's use the time calculator. Let's say I started at 7 o'clock a.m. and I just finished. Click End Now, and that puts in the time right now. Let's say I took a lunch break of 45 minutes. There's the time that I spent on that job, 4.83 hours. Enter it there, and my billable rate on this job is 110 per hour. And my task was calc, girders, stringers, and deck. I'm not going to use the notes column because I don't need it. Let's say I incurred some expenses on this job. Plan copies. I did 8 of them at $3 each. The calculated extension of all of that input is shown here. Now let's say it's time to run an invoice. For the purposes of this tutorial, I previously input some data on the Archive 1 sheet. I'll copy and paste it to the time card. You too can copy and paste data from sheet to sheet. It's easy. We select the data that we want to copy and paste. Right click, copy, go back to the time card, and select the upper left cell of the region where we want to paste this data. Right click and paste. Because the archive sheet and time card sheet are laid out identically, this data will be pasted exactly where it needs to go. Now let's sort our data. Click the Sort button. We want to sort all of our data, not just specific rows, so click Sort All. Now we can choose what to sort first, second, and third. Almost always we'll sort by job number first. Next is usually date, and last employee. Okay, done. Now, if we're interested in the amount of time or expense per employee, we can see that in this set of columns to the right. Let's enter our 5 employees. Tim, Joe, Ann, Mary, and Fred. We can select how we want this subtotal. Let's go with billable amount plus expenses. Those subtotals are now shown. If we wanted to sort by time, we could click that. Now let's print a time card for a specific job from which an invoice will be created. Let's print the spring drive project. We first make mental note that it occurs in rows 16 through 28. Click on the print button and we input the rows here. We see that in doing that, it autofills the start and end of the pay period, and also the client name. We could change those if we wish. To minimize the amount of information shown on the printout and to ensure it fits nicely on one page, we'll hide the sections we don't need. Handy calculators, let's hide those. We didn't use the notes column here, so let's hide that. And the client doesn't need to see the subtotals by employee, so let's hide all 5 of those. Okay. Click OK, and we see the print preview. We could click on print now to print this. We could repeat this procedure for each client or job. Once we've printed everything, let's archive our data. Click on the Archive button. Since we've printed everything, let's choose Archive All. Okay. The program now looks for the last blank row on the Archive 1 sheet and then prompts whether this is where you want your data. That is correct, so we say yes, and the data has now been pasted there. Next, we're prompted to clear the data on the time card sheet. If we were unsure whether or not our data got archived correctly, we would select no. But since we're OnTime experts, we know everything is okay, so yes. Certainly, if we would have chosen no, we could have easily cleared it later by selecting it and then edit Clear Contents. Now we're ready to start the next pay period with a clean sheet. There are more features to OnTime, but hopefully you get the gist of how simple entering and manipulating time data can be. Thanks for watching.